Alrighty, so on this video what we're going to do is going to show you how we can sometimes end up with some halos around stars that we don't like and that we need to kind of correct just so that the stars look the way they're supposed to, at least the way you think you want them to look. And so here's an image that I've worked in PixInsight, and I've gotten to this point so far, altering the colors and using my histogram transformation to get things to look like what they are now. I've even gone here using some selective colors to kind of get more color down in our lower regions there. But let's go ahead and take a look at this star in particular. So this is a star here that has it's pretty bright there, and also has a lot of magenta that I don't like. Also kind of these stars. So let's go ahead and show you how we kind of alter this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the selective color, and I'm going to go to the neutrals portion there. And I think I'm running out of battery, so let me get plugged in here. Alright, so back to the selective color, you're going to go to the neutrals, and then what we're going to try to do is turn this center portion to blend in with the rest. So it's going to be blue or more of this kind of yellow orange. And let's start playing with the first layer there. So if we go there, we're doing more magenta. If we are decreasing it there, we're going more toward the blue side. And so we can decrease some of the yellow, increase the yellow. Decrease the black. Now, obviously this turns the whole image to what you may not like. So what we're going to do is invert the mask, and then with our brush we're going to go ahead and just shrink it to about the size of the star, and we're going to go ahead and reveal that change. And you'll kind of sequentially get a little bit bigger there, to the point where you can kind of fade this out. Now we're down to blue, but we can kind of see that nice transition happen there. So we'll go ahead and open the mask, the selective color again, and then we're going to go ahead and play again with our colors. So now that we have that, we can definitely kind of play around better to kind of get the correction that we need. And this may take a couple steps for you to actually accomplish. And so we have that there, which is our original, and then that there. Now the stars is still a little bright there, so we can go ahead and add a levels mask, and let's just decrease the brightness of that star. Let's say by like that much. Same thing, we're gonna actually invert the mask, and let's go ahead and paint that through there and see how it does. So let's go ahead and group these two together down here, and that way we can go ahead and see, the red halo, and the star still seems a little bit bright. So let's go ahead and open our levels there, and then just decrease it some more to the point where you're happy with how things are looking. So that's at that much there. Let's go ahead and turn everything off, turn everything on. So that's looking better. I still think we can do another round, so let's just do another round of selective color and see if we can take care of the rest of that to make it blend in a little bit better. And sometimes in the neutrals you can actually now go ahead and play maybe with the magenta and see if that does anything. That did a little bit there. Alright, let's invert that. And let's go ahead and hover over that and color that in and see what it did there. So let me turn it on and turn it off, and then you can kind of see what the mask is actually doing. And this opacity should be at 100 there. Let's shrink this a little bit more, color it in there. Alright, and then we can do another levels and then bring it down just a little bit, maybe 98, and I'm gonna just copy this mask and put it onto there. So same thing. We'll go back here and then let's go back to neutrals and see if we can mask that color just a little bit more there. Alright, so let's group these two together and let's group those together, and let's go ahead and turn that on there and then turn it off, and you can definitely see you know what a difference it will make there for that one particular star that is just troubled by that purple halo on and off, and you can see that's a lot better. Now, not all your stars will be this problematic. You know, these stars here, they're still purple, particularly like this one. It's a little bit easier, and you can treat as many stars as you feel like. Let's say in particular this one, we want to get a little bit more of that yellow gold color. We'll leave it in neutrals, and then we'll just let's say we bump up the yellow. Alright, let's go ahead and invert that. Alright, and there you can see, you know, we have that small little halo, and it works out pretty well there. You know, and you may have to do this star by star depending on which colors you want to mask out. Particularly like this star over here, we're trying to change that purple to blue, so you may be able to go back on these masks here and go ahead and reveal that. So let's go ahead and click there, see what it does. And then on this mask, click there and see what it does. Alright, and let's decrease that again and show you the difference in the color halos where things blend a little bit more. Now with the rest of the stars there, where you have, well, this one we can do a little bit more, so let's go ahead and go back to this mask here and then just decrease the radius, hit that there, and then this will decrease the brightness of it. Alright, and let's go ahead and turn that on and turn that off there. Alright, so at this point we've corrected, you know, a majority of the halos around those big stars, and let's group everything here into one big file so that we can folder so that we can turn things on and then go ahead and turn things off, and you can see how those halos disappear and the colors blend in a little bit more to the background. So a lot of times there'll be a lot of stars that have these issues, particularly if you're using color mask. You'll develop a lot of these halos around around your stars, and it may be tedious to go star by star to kind of get this effect corrected. But if you think about it, I mean, a lot of these images that you are taking take hours to gather the data, so you might as well go ahead and spend a couple more minutes or even hour or so correcting that, you know, those star halos, just so that it makes your image look that much better. There's no reason why you need to kind of cut things short on your processing when you spend all that time collecting the data, and if you're trying to make your best image that you can. I definitely recommend this here. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and this is going to be NGC 7822, and then I'm going to go ahead and put, this is the Photoshop star correction. Alright, alright, so let's go back into PixInsight, open this back up here, and this is my synthetic luminance. Where are you? This is my synthetic luminance that I had pulled before I did any kind of stretching, and so I'm going to go back and apply this synthetic luminance to the actual image here. And before I do that, what I'm going to do is I've created a star mask, and then let's go ahead and apply that there. Nope, it didn't apply it. Star mask, let's go ahead and hit that mask there, and I'm going to say mask, show mask, and let's reduce a little bit of the magenta that we have. So I'll put a couple of dots to lock that in place, so you can see if you really up the saturation of the magenta, the stars will show that, and if you decrease it a little bit, that can reduce some of that red color. So let's go ahead and zoom into a couple of areas, particularly up top here, and see what that does. And it may not do much, and again, you may be having to do trial and error, maybe do a little bit less, or you can do a preview window, and this preview window may help you kind of visualize things a little bit better. So let's go to preview window, and let me go ahead and just reset that there. dots. Oop, lock things in place. Alright, if we increase the saturation of the magenta, and then if we decrease it there. So I think if we decrease it there, we're pretty good. If we toggle things on and off, we should be good. So let's go ahead and apply that. I'm going to just delete the preview. And then let's go ahead and apply this to the image. Alright, so if we are happy with what we have there, let's remove the mask, and let's go ahead and apply our luminance here. So I'm going to use that luminance that I had pulled. I'm going to use the brightness, or the lightness, the luminosity portion, leave it at 0.5, and the saturation I'm going to bring it down to 0.35, and then always click that chromatic noise reduction to eliminate any chromatic noise. And so let's go ahead and apply this here, and let's see what that does to our image. And then we'll do a side-by-side kind of comparison of that image with the image that does not have the star correction on it, at least for the star color, and see what you guys think, or what you guys can see. Alright, so this is the luminance, and as you can see, the luminance is very clean, and it allows for a lot of your chromatic and luminance noise to kind of be corrected now. You may not like all the saturation in the stars, but you may like the saturation in the background image, which is something that I do like. So you can go ahead and if you apply too much saturation there, let's go ahead and do mask, and let's apply that star mask again, and let's go ahead and overall, just if you increase the saturation, you can see that. Let's go ahead and overall decrease the saturation and see if that makes it a little bit easier on the eye. Alright, so you can see on this image there, the star colors are a little bit further down, and that looks a lot better. But let's go ahead and compare that image with this image, which does not have that halo reduction. So let me make sure that the mask is disabled for this image, and let's compare. Alright, so I'm not going to go through the desaturation of the stars there, but you can see as far as the main problematic stars there, if you don't take care of that before you apply the luminance there, you can definitely see how this star here can be problematic when you apply that luminance. So to me, this looks a lot better. It looks like the star blends in a lot better. And let's look at this side over here. You still have a little bit of that halo on this star, and then on this side you can definitely see it's a little bit better and it blends in a little bit better. And again, if you don't like the magenta on there, you can continue doing some work on those stars to kind of reduce the star color on them. But as far as this image goes, I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I like the layer of smoothness that we have here. Everything looks great, and in particular, you can see the star, has a halo, a pretty noticeable halo there that I saw. So let's go ahead and go back to Photoshop, and I will show you on that one. So that particular star is giving me that halo. I mean, I want that yellow color, but we definitely don't want that darker halo. So we're trying to make things blue, so we will make them blue, decrease the yellow a bit, and then actually lighten things up. And let's invert that mask. Alright, and so we remove that, and I think that looks a lot better now. It does affect the color of the star, but you can go back and actually shrink that and then hit that again to darken it out there, and you should be able to see that your star is protected now. I'm going to just increase the radius just a bit there, and we can see here, definitely good reduction of that halo. So when I go back and apply that luminance on there, we're definitely not going to see it. I mean, this just sticks out like a sore thumb, and I just noticed that there. And you can do a little bit more on some of these stars. So if you're picky like me, you're going to spend some time doing this and kind of looking over your image, seeing if there's anything that you don't like, and kind of making those corrections before you apply the luminance layer on there. Alright, so I hope this kind of helps out some of your images when you do have some halos, and you put this to good use.